What's up, guys? How you guys doing? I'm doing alright. It's your boy Simon, and I'm back again with another YouTube video. So you people have been requesting for an interview, and you know what? I decided to give you an exclusive interview, one that has never been done before. And today in the building we have Billy Brashon. So Mheshimiwa, karibu.
Asante.
Sanitize kwanza.
Yeah, true.
Yes. Due to the pandemic, the COVID-19, we have to sanitize.
Yeah, and keep social distance.
Exactly. That's why there's space over here. Yes. So, first and foremost, karibu sana.
Asante once again.
Yes. Who is Mheshimiwa Billy Brashon?
I wish you could lose the prefix Mheshimiwa, but in the recent past I've been called that, and I think it's getting to a point where I have to adapt to the name. But to answer your question, first and foremost, thank you, Simon, for having me on the show. It's a pleasure. I've always looked forward to being on one of the shows because you're doing an exemplary, commendable job, and it's a pleasure to be on your show. Billy Brashon is a young man, 28 years of age, from Kibera slums, a youth advocate, and someone who is very passionate about volunteering and also giving back to the society in the community. Of course, like I said, a hardworking man and someone who wants to lead the people of Makina to the right direction.
Interesting. So, we know that you have interests in Makina ward. So, what different thing are you going to do that other MCAs have never done before?
Thank you for that question. Firstly, initially I didn't want to go for a political position, but I think that was informed by the fact that it was thrown as a challenge to me because, like I said, I'm very passionate about helping the good men and women of Makina behind the curtains, and I'm doing a lot of projects behind the curtains for the people of Makina. So it was thrown to me as a challenge because they were wondering if I could do all that and I wasn't in the system, how much more would I do if I got into the system, so that I was the person who would be responsible for their allocation in terms of resources to their ward, and to be precise, in Kibera constituency and by extension the Nairobi County. Yeah.
Okay, nice. That's really nice. And we have seen you doing little projects for the girl child in Makina. On 20th, during the Mashujaa celebration, you gave the girls the sanitary pads, and we have seen you doing a lot for the girl child, but we haven't seen you do anything for the boy child, as they are called. So, why are you not doing anything for the boy child?
It's not like I'm not doing anything for the boy child, but I think you and me would agree, and so many people out there would agree that the girl child is one of those people we call the minority groups or the vulnerable groups in the community. So in one way or another, we have to stand up for their rights and to stand up for what is good for them at times. But to answer your question, it's not like I'm not doing anything for the boy child, but rather the boy child, I've also done. I'm doing projects to ascertain the that concern, especially behind the curtains. But uh, it's not like I'm not doing anything for the boy child. And also, I have an event this coming November on the 25th, hopefully,
Yes.
about empowering the boy child to save our girl child. So when we empower our boy child, we won't we won't need anyone to stand up now for our girl child. And also, thank you for noticing that I had a girl child event on the 20th. It was very successful, and we are hoping that we are going to do even much more for the good men and women of Makina.
Okay. Good stuff. So, why did you decide to help the people, the Makina ward specifically, and not any other ward?
That's a good question. Maybe someone would. We always say charity begins at home. Personally, I've been brought up. I've been born in Makina. I've been brought up in Makina. I've gone to schools within and without Kibera, outside of Kibera, and I think when you want to do good, you can only begin at home. So I thought it wise to start by doing good at home. So that's why I want to run for a political position in my home area.
Oh. And you have done so many projects in Makina, and you're not yet the MCA of Makina. So once you are the MCA, what is the biggest thing you are planning to do, or rather accomplish, when you become the MCA of Makina?
Oh, thank you for that question. Um, if you have lived in a slum before, maybe you'd see the picture that I'm seeing right now in terms of sanitation, in terms of education, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of security. So one of my biggest achievements would be to educate the child and or the person of Makina. Because we always say that knowledge is power, and once someone is knowledgeable, then they are powerful. In that regard, they are able to go out of their way to use that knowledge and or the skill that they have acquired to make not only their life better, but also the society and the community's life better.
Oh, so we
Wait,
have
wait,
had
wait.
all that.
A huge shout out to Prince for helping me film this video. You can go follow him in Instagram. So thank you, Prince, for helping me film this video. I really appreciate it. So yeah. So let's
So,
continue this video.
what are your long-term goals for Makina Ward?
Yeah. My long-term goals, I think, Simon, would be to have a better, not only Makina, but a Kibera where people are so secure when they are doing their businesses. People have good infrastructure in terms of roads. For example, when there's a fire outbreak, it takes the Nairobi City County Council firefighters to quite a number of minutes to make it to where the inferno is. So I want to see a Makina where the infrastructure is good, we have good roads, a Makina where we have educated the people of Makina in terms of education, a Makina where we have good hospitals, the best health facilities in Makina, a Makina where you can do business without being harassed by either the kanjos or whoever harasses traders. A Makina where there's a lot of life going on. People are happy to be, and we always say a healthy nation is a wealthy nation. So I want to see Makina on the maps of the world, not just in Kenya alone.
Okay. And one question: where do you want to see Makina 4 years after you are elected?
Thank you for that question. 4 years after I'm elected, I think Makina would be a different destination, and I think most of the surrounding wards and or most of the surrounding constituencies would want to move to Makina, because we are going to have a lot of good things in Makina. We are going to have good roads. We are going to have good security. We are going to have good sanitation, because believe you me, if it has not been done before, I'll be the first person to do that in Makina. So I just need to plead with the people of Makina to try and see if they can help me help all of us.
Oh, okay. And according to you, how necessary is community development and education?
Community development is very important, because when you develop a community, that means you're raising a society and or a community where everyone is happy in terms of food. um, Everyone is also happy in terms of health, so that you are able to seek uh, help in the nearest health facility, and you'll be attended to as immediately as possible. Community development also ensures that all the people in the community are happy with each other, and as we always say, a hungry man is an angry man. Community development would help us to make sure that all the Kiberians are good people and are not instigated by any kind of problems, as we have experienced in recent times. And when I come to the question of education, education is the only gift that a parent can ever give to a child. Because I say that because I've had the opportunity to be in school. I've had the opportunity to go out there and get some knowledge, and that's why I want to come back to the community and give all that they sent me to do to them. So when you educate a child, you make their future even brighter, as opposed to not educating them. So that's why education is one of the pillars that I'm going to have in my agendas when I finally run for the political seat as the MCA of Makina.
And a question that I was asked by someone from your ward:
Yes.
who do you think is much more important? What do you think is important? The vote or the voter? And why?
Um, First things first, the voter is important. To begin with, the voter is important because without the voter, then you won't have the vote. The vote only informs the decision that the voters decide. I don't know if you understand me. So much so that if you are a voter and you vote in a bad leader, then you live with that mistake for the rest of the regime of that leader. So that's why, by extension, there's importance in the vote. So you vote for a bad leader, you don't enjoy the process of voting. But you vote for a good leader, like I'm sure the people of Makina are going to vote for me, then you smile all the way for the rest of the regime.
Oh, okay. And just a little bit outside of politics, what do you do apart from politics as we wind up?
I do a number of things. I'm a businessman. I do events management and events planning. I have my company. Also, I am working with the Kenya Commercial Bank. Other than that, I'm also consultant in other areas, especially in business and in other areas that pertain to that.
Oh, okay. And me and you and everybody outside there, we know that you are not funded by anyone. How are you able to do the projects that you do in Makina? Because they do cost money, and we know they are not just a few shillings.
Yeah, thank you, Simon, for that question again. We always say that it's not how much you earn that makes you who you are, but what you do with the little you earn that makes you who you are. Just like I mentioned before, I'm a businessman. I run my company, my events management company, and so the little profits that I get from there, and also the little shillings that I earn from my employer, is what I use to give back to society. So I'm not funded by anyone. It's from my own pockets that I'm able to reach out to the people of Makina.
Oh, okay. And one last question. We are not sure, because you're quite a silent person and you don't do your things in broad daylight. So do you have a family or anything?
I didn't see that coming. I don't know by broad daylight what you mean, but as of now, I'm not married, but I'm seeing someone. But I was thinking that my private life belongs to my private life, but my public life, especially with regards to serving the people of Makina, can be as open as a day. But to answer your question, I'm not married, but I'm seeing someone. So for the ladies out there, if you are thinking that I don't, yeah.
Okay, so that is all that we had for you today, and I hope you're going to invite us to Makina someday. We come and see the projects that
You
have
should come.
been doing.
You should come. Actually, let me invite you. We have a boys empowerment program on the 25th of next month. That is in November, and I want to beseech you personally and your crew to come and maybe shoot your show from Makina, so that we show the Kenyan people, we show the Kiberians what we have done in Makina, and also what we are doing and what we intend to do as a people.
Wow. Okay, so that will be it for this video. Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa, for coming to my show, and I'll catch you all in the next one. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. So till next time, bye.
Thank you.